Welcome to Branding on Blast. I'm Tamara Darris, the owner of Dream Fuel Marketing, and I'm here with a very special guest. Her name is Kerri. I'm not going to say her last name because I'll butcher it. Can you tell us your last name, Kerri?
Could at least try.
I was like, a pizza, fine.
Paizzi, Kerri Paizzi.
Kerri Paizzi, and she is the owner of Flavor South Florida, which we actually just met, and I just love this gal right here. So I was like, you have to be on the show so we can chit chat about food and flavor and fun and marketing.
Yes, all the things.
Yes.
All the things.
So thank you for being on our show today.
Yes, I'm so happy we met,
I
and I'm so
know.
happy to be here.
I know. I think there's lots of trouble that's going to happen here
We'll
in the
say,
future.
right?
Yes,
We'll say.
yes. All the shenanigans that'll occur.
Yes.
So today we're going to be talking about branding like we do on all episodes, but we're going to throw in a little like food flair. And we're going to talk about brands that have restaurants, food, because you're here as our special guest.
Yes.
Yes, it's in your honor.
Thank you.
So imagine this. Imagine like a brand is a restaurant dish. The ingredients may be good, but if you change too many flavors at once, your customers may not recognize it any longer. And the same applies to your brand. If you make too many changes with your brand, you may lose your customers that fell in love with your brand at the beginning.
True. Very
Right?
true. Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have a brand that not many people like, then yes, you want to change the flavors and you want to change your strategies and how you're doing your brand identity so that you have people fall in love with your brand. Because we like to do storytelling. We are brand storytellers, right? Because we want people to have an emotional connection. And what a better way to connect someone than with food?
I really think so. I tell people this a lot. When you're gathering around a table, it's intimate. It's a good time. It's a happy time.
Mm-hmm.
You'll look forward to going out to eat. Even think if you go back to Thanksgiving, even
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving, that's a happy time. You're around the table with food and family and friends. And,
Mm-hmm.
it's just, I think it's a lot of like positive things that come around food for people.
Right.
I think it's a pro rather than a con. And
Mm-hmm.
it makes people happy. It makes me happy.
Oh, yeah,
Food makes me
gosh.
very happy.
Forget the diets. I can never diet. That was my thing. Like, I love my carbs.
diet.
Everybody knows. We're like,
Don't
if you
diet.
are on a diet, don't come to my house because you will have donuts for breakfast and you'll
Yeah.
have pasta and bread for lunch and dinner.
I've been going to the gym to offset what all the food I've been eating, and I really enjoy indulging and
Mhm.
eating out to eat, and I can't take that's like that would be I
Yeah.
can't take that away
I
from
know.
myself.
No,
That's my happiness.
it would be the joy in my life.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Well, and that is very important because like food, like you said, it's an emotion, it's family, it's stories. I mean, we grew up with traditional recipes. So like every
Mhm.
holidays, there would be certain foods that were expected on the dining room table. If they were not there, oh my gosh, HELL would break loose.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of I took some psychology courses in college. I
Mhm.
wanted to be a child psychologist, and I don't know what happened there. But
Or you're analyzing it right now, so it's
I
applying.
do apply the psychology a lot
Mhm.
in what I do, in the marketing and the branding and
Mhm.
targeting and the food aspect. If you think about it, there's a lot of psychology also behind food
Oh,
because
yeah.
you when you're a child, when you're sick, say, right?
Mhm.
You're probably going to crave a comfort food.
Mhm.
Why is that a comfort food? It's a comfort food because it's something maybe you had it as a child. Maybe it's a reminder and you don't even think about it like that.
Yeah.
But if you actually did think about it, you're like, why am I wanting this food?
Mhm.
If I'm sick, I want soup. My grandmother used to always make me soup when I was sick, right? So mm, that's probably why I want the soup.
It's true. It's true.
So it's
So
interesting.
yeah, comfort levels, it all
Mhm.
everything in our life as adults goes back to our childhood.
Yeah.
So if you want to be good at
I don't know if
marketing,
it's
get
good
a
or bad, but yeah.
psychology degree. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, good or bad though, it is true. Whatever those child experiences were, and with food, think about that as you are creating your brand also. Like what are those
Mhm.
comfort foods that we all loved as kids? Even if they're not great for us, like we may still love them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about that today, and we're going to start with Starbucks. I
Ooh.
mean, that's a big brand. So we always do our series with like different segments, and we like to talk about like hot tips for branding. So
Mhm.
these are great strategies that you can implement for your own business, and you can kind of tweak them to fit whatever it is that you are doing.
Yeah.
So with building a powerful brand with Starbucks, they stay consistent with their logo. So a lot of, some businesses will actually change their logo for holidays or like make them look different. And Starbucks always designed their whole experience around their logo. And I read this book one time about Starbucks. Did you know that they didn't start out as a coffee shop?
I did know that. I actually visited the original Starbucks, the first one
Did
that opened
you?
when I was in Seattle. I
Ah,
wanna say, don't quote me, but I believe it was 1911 or 1912. I think it was 1912 that it
okay.
opened.
I'm just gonna go with what you're saying.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And I have to Google that, but it's, it's still it's there still, and it's iconic, and people go,
I
and
think I
it's
need to go to
mobbed, and
that. Yeah.
that's how long they've actually been around, which is interesting because, I mean, to my knowledge, like, Starbucks didn't come it's like to my,
Your
attention
area. Mhm.
till the 90s.
Mhm.
I would
Yeah.
say
I think that's where it
95 or
really popped
so.
up. Mhm.
So the fact that they were around so much longer
Mhm.
before that is kind of wild.
Well, Starbucks wasn't actually a coffee shop to begin with. It was a coffee shipping company.
Yes.
And that's where that mermaid comes in. So that siren there, you're like
Mhm.
always I was always wondering why is there like a siren on the coffee shop logo? It's
Mhm.
because it was a shipping company that shipped the beans to the ports. And then from there they grew their business into the coffee shops and then everything else, that they
Yeah.
created. The Starbucks franchise, it's definitely like part of pop culture. So now with building this powerful brand, what they did is they talked to people. Created this emotional connection between their staff and how they created
Mhm.
like seasonal promotions. Like think about the Red Cup.
Yeah.
It's like the Red Cup day. Everybody gets so
People wait
excited.
for it,
They
yeah.
do stand in lines to get it. They created this amazing like emotional connection. It's a cup
Yeah.
and it's red. I can get you a solo cup. But why is no one standing in line for that solo cup? They created this like this experience right here.
Yeah.
Look at this with that brand.
It gives you that holiday feel. I know when I see that cup, it's holiday time.
Mhm.
So it's interesting because the subliminal messaging that comes along with it is like they do a fantastic job with that.
Yeah.
It's funny that I didn't know. I don't know what you have in your iPad there. I just want to tell the
No,
listeners
you
that.
tell.
So I have no idea. I didn't know there was a Starbucks conversation. So I want to tell you this story. I would always get an iced vanilla latte.
Mhm.
That's my drink. And so one day, not long ago, they gave me a straw. And now you have to ask for a straw, which kind of
Yep.
annoys me, but I'm a straw. I like a straw. So anyway, it was a neon green colored straw. And I lost my mind. I was like, where's the dark green straw? Was like, "Are they rebranding?" I lost my mind over it. I was
Did
like,
you?
"I don't like this straw. It is giving me
It
bad
tastes
vibes.
different. It
It's a
tastes
terrible
different.
straw." And then, like, I didn't say anything. It's not weird like that, but it was significant that I noticed it. And a couple weeks later, I went back and it was back to normal.
They
So
switched it back.
all was well in the world, but
But that is so true because they're so strong with their branding,
yeah,
with their logo and their packaging. They don't alter that. It's an expected brand experience. And
yeah.
so those little subtle changes like a neon green straw,
Terrible.
yeah,
Terrible
would be
day.
terrible. Or if a red cup showed up and it was blue. I
Yeah.
mean, oh, I don't know about that. I think you'd have like a red cup riot.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
I agree. I
Hashtag red cup
agree.
riot. Red cup, yeah. So, yeah, it's so true. The
Mhm.
branding, like be consistent with your branding and how you tell your story and the products that you use and your packaging. All of those are very, very important. Um, all right. So then we had another branding Starbucks image there. Yep, you can see there they brand everything for the holidays, but they maintain that integrity of their greens and their color, their brand kit. And that's really, really important
Mhm.
for brand identity, right? All right. So let's move on. We're going to go on to branding missteps. We always kind of like to talk about like fails.
There's a lot of those out there.
There are, but there's success stories behind some of these brand fails too. And I mean, I know everybody's talked about it, but I feel like we should talk about it. It's Cracker Barrel.
Oh, I'm like, who are we talking about?
I know, it's Cracker Barrel. As soon as it came out, we had just filmed, like, our other 2 episodes. I'm like, "Dang
Yeah.
it, I wanna do Cracker Barrel." So,
Yeah.
we're, like, a week behind or 2 weeks behind the Cracker Barrel fiasco. Um,
I actually really like Cracker Barrel.
I do
I
too.
really do.
I know, and immediately as a marketer, I'm sure you saw it and you're like, "Oh, no. No,
I
no,
think that whole
no."
thing was a set I think it was a whole setup.
Well, and that's interesting
I
that you
think
say that
so.
because
I
that
think it
could
was a
be
PR
something
stunt,
too.
100%. And I
Mm,
think it was, if it was, I hope it was. I
yeah,
think it was a great idea
yeah.
because I always tell my clients too, like, you got to be fresh. You got to keep it fresh. Got to keep,
Mhm.
and I don't like to do a PR stunt per se ever because
Mhm.
I like to stay genuine.
Right.
But yeah, if that was in fact a PR stunt, like kudos to them.
Mhm.
Like
Well, and so there's a couple different ways to look at it too. Is like, what if it was a PR stunt?
mhm.
We love conspiracies here, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then if it wasn't, what kind of amazing PR can you get from having a massive fail? I mean, you're in the media everywhere
Yeah.
for Cracker Barrel. There's a lot of attention on that, and you can build on that if you spin it correctly.
That's no bad publicity.
Yeah, and it's true. Yeah, yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Mostly.
So we're
That's what they say.
Yes, yes.
That's what they say.
But I do feel like it's about spinning, like how you spin things, because you can have a bad experience as long as you spin it the right way and you
Yeah.
stay genuine and you're authentic about it and people feel that, then you can really turn a negative into a positive,
Mhm.
with how you present it. So let's break it down. Let's look at what they did. I mean, everybody knows Cracker Barrel. I mean, what's your experience at Cracker Barrel? Like, what's your first memories? Like, why do you
Oh
go there?
gosh. I mean, going there in like 90 I don't know, in the 90s, I was little and um I play in the pegboard, right? The
Yes.
little peg
Okay. The
game.
tic tac
So
toe.
I got
Love it.
that always. Going in the little shop.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm not the food's not number 1 here.
No.
Notice this is not I'm going in order.
It's experiences, yeah.
And then the biscuit gravy is third for me.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't normally get biscuit gravy like anywhere,
Yeah.
like that sausage gravy,
Mhm.
but their sausage gravy, and the
You
apple
like
butter.
that.
I'm gonna
Mm.
get that. Now I want to go.
Okay.
We have to
Now
go.
you wanna go to
We
Cracker
gotta go
Barrel.
to
We gotta go
Cracker
Cracker
Barrel.
Barrel now, yeah. Well, now that they fixed themselves a
Yeah, you
little
fix
bit. Well, so for me, Cracker Barrel was always those little sugar candy canes. They
Mhm.
were sold in a bag, and they were not like a regular candy cane because they melted in your mouth, and I was obsessed with them because you could buy them for $2 and you save up your allowance, and then you go in and buy these, like, candy canes. I mean, that was my I
Yeah.
loved that. I don't know. I don't even know that I liked the food. I just loved the tic-tac-toe and the
It's all
ambiance
the
in the shop. Yeah,
experience.
yeah. So let's look at this. So what did they do? They removed their icon. They took one of the most iconic people on a brand, which was Mr. Herschel,
Mhm.
and they took him off because they wanted to modernize it. And they did the same thing with the inside of the location, like the restaurants. And, Carrie, like you had mentioned, sometimes it's nice to refresh a brand. And I don't hate this,
I
refresh
don't
with the
hate that
white.
either. I don't hate that. I was just looking at that, and I think it is brighter.
Mm-hmm.
I think if let's never I never saw that. Pretend I never saw that.
Mm-hmm.
That would still give me the vibe that they're trying to portray, right?
Right, right.
But for me, knowing and this nostalgia of it, that's it. That's the OG, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess I'm fine with either one. I
Mm-hmm.
do get sad when you lose that,
Yes.
but I also understand sometimes you do need a little bit of a refresh.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kept it as much as they could, I
Right.
think, with the new.
Well, and so part of the issue that has been discussed about the Cracker Barrel like remodel was that they didn't give their audience time to get used to the big change.
Yeah.
Like I think if they did a commercial with Uncle Herschel sitting on his rocking chair, all right, little kiddies,
Yeah.
we are moving into, modern times now, and so we're gonna give ourselves a paint job. Come on down to Cracker Barrel and
That's
play
genius. Why didn't they
tic-tac-toe.
hire you for that?
I know, hire me,
Wait,
Cracker
what?
Barrel.
What happened? Tag them fast.
Yeah, but if they had, like, talked to their audience and educated them, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we're very excited. Come and be a part of this new brand experience." They kinda just rolled it out,
Yeah.
"Here you go," and everybody was like, "Whoa, wait a
People
minute, we're
don't
going."
like change.
No,
So ever.
right.
So
You gotta ease them
when you're
into it.
like sneak attack them like that, they're like,
Mhm.
whoa.
Right.
So
Yeah, so
yeah.
take, some pages out of Cracker Barrel's notebook or barrel chairs and think about that. If you want to rebrand something, think about what is important to your customers and what your audience likes, and stay true to that. And if you really need to do a big change because maybe you just aren't getting the sales in, or your building is falling apart and you have to do construction work, then maybe make that part of your story too, so that your audience can feel like they're a part of your journey and a part of your change, and they'll be more vested into clapping and being happy
Yeah.
about the changes that you have. So I think that was really one of their biggest, issues. because they just
I
didn't
also more
include.
for, like, independent client, like, mom and pop situations.
Mhm,
I like to do market research when we're doing a rebrand, like, a
mhm.
lot of local market research, like,
Yes.
so that the guests feel as though they are contributing to
Mhm.
what we're doing.
Yep.
So I think that's
Very
also
important.
important. And it wouldn't work in this situation as a national brand
Mhm.
as easily, but for small local ones, like, it works flawlessly if it's done right. So
Right.
I think that's also important to make your guests feel, or
Mhm.
your clients or whomever, to feel like they're part of the process, like you said.
Agreed,
Mm,
agreed. Yeah, and one of the ways that you can do that as a business owner, if you're wanting to rebrand, is just even a simple questionnaire that you could give to your audience or your customers that come in. Hey, what do you love the best about our business?
yeah.
Is there something that you would change?
Hmm.
If we remove something from the menu, what would make you cry? I mean, make it even funny like that, and then get people to interact and maybe make a drawing out of it, or they can win a prize, or I don't know, get $5 off if they do this survey. But these are great ways for you to get your audience included and involved in change.
Yeah,
I think
for
it's
sure.
important. All right, so we're gonna skip on past Cracker Barrel and Mr. Herschel, and we're gonna
Mhm.
go talk about the flavor South Florida.
Oh, we're next. How
Yes,
do you like
you
that?
are
How
next.
do you like that?
And so the reason why I wanted you on this show for to talk about Flavor South Florida is, I mean, food is, like, as we discussed, close to my heart and my belly. So I like to talk about food. And what you've created is authentic and it's relevant because a lot of what you create is during the slower times. Is that
Mhm.
one of the reasons why you created this organization,
So
this
it
platform?
started in '07 and has grown immensely over the years. The community really enjoys it. And I, my friend Brianna started it.
Mhm.
I acquired it from her 4 years ago. And I could tell you the story of the flavor logo. There, we have a couple little fun little stories behind our logo. But yeah, we never did. There was never a major rebrands.
Mhm.
And it's interesting because we started it with, well, Brianna started it with, it was flavor block letters, and the O was a plate
Mhm.
and two forks. I believe on the 10th anniversary, she rebranded that logo to a palm tree with the fork, which is what it has now.
Mhm.
And it was pink. And it always been pink since she started. And Brianna's very, so am I, and I think so are you. We're very pink people.
Yes.
Brianna was very pink.
Gave it away.
And so I loved it. I always resonated with me
Yeah.
that logo and that color and all
Well,
of
and
it.
South Florida is very pink,
Yeah,
it has that Palm Beach kind of vibe to it.
I think that's
Yeah.
probably where her mindset came from the beginning, if I
Mhm.
had to guess,
Yep.
was it originated in Palm Beach Island mainly.
Mhm.
Okay, so and this was 20 years ago almost. Lily Pulitzer was ruling Palm Beach Island at that time.
Yep.
So my guess would be if she was sitting here, that's probably where that color probably was inspired from because
Yeah.
you're
Which
at
makes sense.
pink or green,
Mhm.
which is look at that. So when I took it over, I slightly tweaked the pink to
Mhm.
a peach, which it is
Yes.
currently. The reason I did that was because I felt as though it would be a little more inclusive to the men.
Mhm.
I felt pink is very feminine,
Mhm.
and again, even as subconsciously, and I wanted it to be a little more
Unisex.
not, yeah,
Mhm.
unisex.
Mhm.
So and I do love that peach color. I just
Yes.
think
Oh,
it's like
I love
my
it. Yeah,
favorite
your logo
color.
looks
Or
great.
so so did that. Then it started as Flavor Palm Beach, but because restaurant owners were asking me in Martin County and northbound,
Mhm.
"Hey, could we do it this too?" And
Mhm.
I don't want to tell them no. It's a great initiative. It's a great program for them to
Yep.
make money. It's like, well, yeah, let me give me a minute. Let me figure it out.
Mhm.
So we rebranded it 3 years ago now to Flavor South Florida. So now it runs from Vero Beach to Boca.
Mhm.
So we had a couple minor rebrands along the way,
Yeah.
but I don't think anything significant enough. It's funny because the rebrand to South Florida happened 3 years ago, but last year everyone was still saying Flavor Palm Beach.
Mhm.
This is the first year that people were actually saying Flavor South Florida,
Yeah, yeah.
which is really exciting for me to notice that,
Well,
you know?
but this is good too, because you've been telling your story now. Your brand awareness is out there. I mean,
Yeah.
I wanted you to be on the show to talk about it as well. And with this branding that you've done, the reason why I personally love it is because you're promoting a lot of local, like mom and pop type of restaurants
Yeah.
and even some chains, right? Or is it only mom
Chains
and pop
are allowed to do it. Yeah, they do it. We have like the Capitol Grill does it, the Milk and Pot does it. There's a good amount. Morton's
chains?
does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a good amount of corporate ones that
Mhm.
do it as well. But I would say the big bulk of it is
Is it
independently owned. I mean, I have their cell phone numbers, the chefs, the
yeah.
owners, and that's who I tend to vibe with the most.
Mhm. It's
But
the locals, yeah, and it's great because she has a number of restaurants that offer these, price fix menus during a certain time frame, which
mhm.
is great, especially in South Florida because, I mean, we're starting to not have as big of a faucet of seasons, like, where the season starts, "Oh, faucet is on," and, "Oh, season's over," and it's off.
Well, I will tell you, July and August, because I work so closely with these restaurant owners, they were awful this year,
They
like
were
awful.
oh,
So a lot of them were struggling to stay
mhm,
open, unfortunately, and you power through it. But
mhm,
and I think a lot of it has to do for us, even if the locals are here,
mhm,
because based on the traffic, we're still we're still here. I think to your note,
yep,
but if you
need
recall,
more.
July and August, it was really hot
Mhm,
and we had a lot of rain.
yes,
And that does affect
the
tremendously
tourism, mhm,
just the locals going out to dinner. If it's pouring out, I don't want to get in my car and go to dinner.
mhm,
I'm just going to stay home and cook, right? So,
yeah, yeah,
and if it's 100 degrees out and it's an outdoor venue, I don't want to go there.
right,
So July and August were really, really, really hard. And I'm starting now because we're closing out flavor
mhm.
for the season. I'm starting to get the data back, and they're all telling me so far, everyone I've spoken to says that their numbers are up over last year for September. And September 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th was the busiest day they've had since Mother's Day and Father's Day.
That's terrific.
So, yeah, it's really it just makes
It's a
my heart
great
so happy that it
yeah,
the program is the community is so accepting of it and excited about it.
right.
That's
Yeah, it's a
nice.
great initiative. So I would
Mhm.
follow them, go onto their website, and follow them and participate in supporting a lot of these local restaurants because they have this amazing price fix menus. You can explore. Maybe you haven't gone to them. I always challenge myself to just kind of go through a list and like go to as many of those restaurants because yes, you're paying money to go dine out, but you're also supporting your neighbors when you dine at their restaurants. And those are what build community. They build, economic development, improvements. I mean, all of this affects you in the long term. I mean, it does. So you have to go out and eat
We
dinner.
have a checklist on our website. We have
Oh,
a
you
nice
do?
cohesive checklist.
Oh,
People have been printing the checklist out. They have
fantastic.
actually been checking them off. Yeah, it's
I've
pretty
just been
fun to
going and just
see.
going to the restaurant. Like, okay, I gotta go
I
to
was
this one,
trying to
this
make
one,
it
this one.
easy for everyone. I'm like,
I
"Here's
love
your
that.
list. Start checking."
I love that. All right.
Yeah.
So how much more time do they have?
Today, today's the official last day. September 30th is the official last day. But there are a good amount of restaurants throughout both counties that are
Mhm.
participating in October, and they're extending the menu because they were really
Terrific.
successful in September. I think about 35 or 40 are
Mhm.
going into October. So,
Okay, great. Well, if
yeah.
you're a restaurant too along the coastline, you can reach out and be a part of this great initiative and this collaboration that helps to promote all these restaurants in the areas. And I would get in now
Yeah.
because then you can be promoted early, which is great advertising for you, anyways. And it leads up to this exciting build and the checklists. That
Mhm.
could be another thing, like
It's
the
so much
little
fun. It's so
little
much fun.
viral social medias of like, check. Did you go here? Check. Check.
Mhm.
Check.
Oh, there's a competition. So, there actually is a
Love a good
competition.
competition.
We have $1,000 going to the winner. I'll announce the winner, October 15th. And it's whoever diner in out in the wild can
Mhm.
eat the most flavor restaurants, and people are tagging me on flavor.
I love it.
I'm at number 15, and this guy's at number 22, and
Ah,
I'm like, "They're actually doing this." Like,
that's good.
and I don't know, and I had somebody email me, he's like, "Oh, I'm up to, dine number 27." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
That's
They're taking
amazing.
it
I love
seriously.
it, but listen, food is serious business. So
It
get
is.
that checklist, sign up for it. This is for Flavor South Florida, and it's flavorsouthflorida.com.
Yes, mhm.
Yes, so go to that website as well. So the reason why we love it is because it's authentic, it's supporting local business and food. Why
Yes.
not? So get out there and go order some food off these restaurant menus. All right, well, we're gonna jump through. We're having such a great time. We're almost like at the end of our episode, and we
I
got to
know, how
get
does
like
that
two more
happen?
things. I
It just
know it's
happens.
good conversation. All right, so we do a audience Q&A.
Yeah.
And this is where we do have some people that send in some questions about marketing and branding.
Oh, I love this.
Yes, and so I'll ask you the question, and so we're gonna have to keep it
Fire
short, though. We
away.
only have like a few minutes left of our show.
Okay.
Okay, how do I find marketing tactics that resonate in my local community without sounding like every other restaurant or brand?
How do you find marketing tactics?
Yes. Without sounding like, how do you do marketing without sounding like everyone else? Because,
Well,
a lot of people are on their phone like, oh, well, I got to do this because this person's doing this and all
no.
that.
Yeah. Okay. So I tell every single person that asks me that it's not cookie cutter. It's not
Yeah,
one size fits all.
agreed.
You have to
Agreed.
literally identify your exact target client.
Hmm.
And I say to people, who's your target client? And they go, everyone. Everyone could use my service. I go, that's the wrong answer
Yeah.
every time.
You
I
waste
said,
all your money too.
I need you to pay. Yeah. Because now you're shooting into like, you're
A black
shooting
hole
a
trying
black
to get
hole. Like,
somebody. Yeah.
yeah. So I always tell people, I'm like, all right, I want you to literally draw me a picture of who your person is. Is it man, woman? What's their age? What's their income? Where do
Hmm.
they live? What are their hobbies?
Yep.
Now you're creating your target market.
Hmm.
And then from there, you decide how do we reach that audience, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're just
Yeah, you can market to
not.
100 people and spend a lot of money, or market to 5 people and spend a little bit of money and make sure that they walk in the door because those are your right
Yeah.
customers. Yeah.
100%.
So part of so what you said is great. So find your target audience, and then also be personable with your brand. Highlight stories behind the scenes in your business if that's appropriate.
Hmm.
Talk about reach out to micro influencers in your area. Maybe if you're a restaurant, find some foodies that can come in and who have followings to do a taste, or come in the kitchen and go behind the scenes with the chef. You can create these really interesting special interest stories with your business that can really elevate your level above everybody else, or just help you define your own story.
I also find it very interesting with kids because the parents will spend money on the kids.
Yes.
So my son, if he says, oh, like Wendy's or somebody did a purple, like Slurpee thing, whatever they did, I
Yeah.
don't know, it was a drink.
Yeah.
And he hounded me and hounded me and hounded me.
You
He was
went-
like, we have to go get it. We have to go get it. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, who cares about this drink? We don't even. So every time we went, it was sold out. So I don't know where they were marketing. I guess probably YouTube or something. That's where my son
Yeah.
looks around, or somebody else was talking about it.
Hmm.
But it's also like a roundabout way to, I think, capture an audience. Maybe it's not if you're targeting kids or teenagers or whatever.
Hmm.
You really have to target them for them to hit the parent.
Right.
It's like it's a tricky
It's a
one.
roundabout way.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you're
Yeah,
targeting the parents, then get the kids, wanting to come in for
because
something.
you're gonna spend the money on your
Right.
kids
Yeah.
before you spend money on yourself.
And it's even like those kids eat free nights.
Yep.
I mean, they work because if you have 2 kids, 3 kids, I mean, that's expensive to go out for dinner. But if they're getting to eat for free, then you're going to splurge a little bit more, and really, it's going to end up costing about the same amount for the business.
Yeah.
And you'll be making all that money. So try some of these strategies and tactics to find the right audience, get those people in, tell your own story.
Hmm.
Don't worry what about anybody else is doing. All right. And then we're going to finish up with our last segment, which I love this one. It's our brand blast off challenge. And so this is where we challenge everybody out there with their businesses to do something and make a change. All right. So this is about dishing out your identity. You're going to pick one menu item. You're going to do a product feature or core service and write its backstory. Okay, so pick a menu item or a product or a service that you offer, and then I want you to write a story about it
Hmm.
and say why it's there. How did it come into existence? So I want you to tell that story, and I want you to share it on social media. And a video is always great because if you can tell your story that way, people connect and will respond better that way. And then after you have done that, I want you to let us know what the response was on it. See what that connection, see if you got new followers, see if you got people to engage.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's
That
the
sounds
brand
great.
takeaway.
Mhm.
Okay. I want you to tell a story about something special in your business. All right. And you know what? We made it to the end. Yes.
We did
Looking at our
it.
time clock over here. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us on Branding on Blast. I'm here with Kerri. Thanks for joining me today as we talk about food, talk about our brands, highs, our lows, how to make changes but stay consistent. Tune in for our next episode. Subscribe to our channel. And if you need some help, give us a call. Dream Fuel Marketing. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.